Hey friends, welcome to All Around the Farm. It's been a busy week around here. Whew, let me tell you about it. So guys, I've had a lot going on here. The weather turned nice, as you can see, and every farmer, including myself, in this area, come to life on Thursday. I'm no different. But as you can see, some things have changed on Ms. Kardashian here. There's a little red paint under there. There's a new tire on it. Let me tell you a little story about this tire. That turned out to be just as big a disaster as the other side. I took out all the bolts, like I said I was gonna do. Just left them on loose. Drove this tractor in circles for 20 minutes. That hub is not going anywhere. Same as the other side. So I did this one manually. And let me tell you what, that's the last time I'm doing a tire this size manually. This is awful. It's terrible. I still got to do that back tire, but the back tire has an advantage. I'm still going to take that one in. But see how I got fender and whatnot here? I can't just get in here with my forklift and lift the whole thing straight off and straight on. I mean, I did get it off the other side, but I couldn't get it back on because I can't hang it straight. I got plenty of room back here to bring the forklift in, right over the tire, pick her straight up, pull it straight back. That'll be, still ain't gonna be easy, but more doable. More doable than how I had to do that. But at least I got 2 out of 4 on. I'm ready to paint the cab, but I gotta get this big ass here painted up first. So things are moving along in this aspect. Now, as you can see by various pieces of equipment, and there's an 1155 in there with the drill hook to it because I still got planting to do. So when we last left you on Sunday, I had planted corn here. I went and planted corn in my other cornfield, and I went and planted 40 acres of soybeans. So it's been busy. And then, which is what next Friday's video is going to be, I've kind of tried something different. I'm taking you from a start to finish. From my worst field, because I thought that'd be the best one to try this on. My worst field that I have. It's basically crap shit ground. But my aunt rents it to me for not a ton of money, so it's worth every penny of that. But nevertheless, I still planted in there. And actually, I can't say that, because last year it gave me probably the best crop of wheat that field's ever seen in its life. Because it doesn't even see much wheat, because it's generally just poor ground for planting wheat. It doesn't dry out good. When it does dry out, it dries out too good. So nevertheless, but that was another part of this week. But I thought today it might be, since I haven't had time. I haven't even had time to cut my grass. Looks like a damn jungle out here. Let's go have a look at this cornfield that's in the backyard. You'd think I'd have time to see that one. Actually, I wandered out there last night and I had some corn popping up, but I couldn't really see much. So nevertheless, let's have a look. Hey friends, while we're walking through these fields here, I think it's a good opportunity for me to tell you about my new Hisia boots. I like the last ones they sent me so well, they sent me another pair. Said, you need some more boots? I said, matter of fact, I do. So this time I went with these men's neoprene camouflage boot. I had a pair of Ridgelines that I bought from Tractor Supply. They were like 80 bucks and they're absolute garbage. I don't care who hears that. I hate those boots. They're not comfortable. You can't walk for very long in them. Now, I bought them thinking they'd be almost as good as my muck boots for half the price. They are not that. These Hisia boots, on the other hand, these things are exactly that. They even kind of look like my muck boots, but for about half the cost. And I've been wearing these for a while, walking around in them, and I got nothing but good things to say. You want to try a pair of these out, you can, or any other boots that Hisia has. My code's good for any of them. JT's Barn and Grill. Type it in just like I have here on their website. They give you a percentage off. As you can see, these aren't super expensive to start off with. So, again, nothing but nice things to say about these boots, guys. Thanks again to Hisia for giving me a pair of these boots to try out. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description below to the website, to these boots. Go shop around. They got all kinds of cool stuff on their website. All right, let's get back to crop touring. Well, guys, look at that. There's a pleasant little surprise. Nice. Got some baby corns growing here. I'm happy to see that. Well, I don't know how this is going to come through on the phone because where I'm standing looking at it, that looks pretty nice, but it might not pick it up. But anyway, oh, got a little crooked back there. I guess that happens. You know, my JPS was off that day, but it looks like the stand isn't too bad. I had set the sprockets for 30,000. I think I probably am a little light. Those are probably 6 inches apart, maybe 8 inches apart, maybe 5 inches there. I don't know. It's an old planter, guys. What do you expect? But hey, for the most part, like for the whole part, I'll take that. Yep, see what I mean, guys? Everybody's moving today. And maybe some of these spots where I have, you know, a bare spot. I mean, there's a little shoot right there. There's a little shoot right there. Maybe they just got a couple of more special pieces of corn that are running a little bit slower and need an extra week or so to emerge. Yeah, I like that. See, he's coming up. He's just a little slow, so feeling good about this. Let's hop in old Black Betty and go check out the X field. You know, guys, farming really doesn't pay me anything. Just kind of keeps me floating along to the next year, which is fine. I don't do it for the money. But this area, this right here, after you get things planted and you can kind of relax for a minute and walk through a week later and see all your babies growing, I like that. That's cool. I like watching plants grow, especially knowing the amount of work that goes into doing something like this. It's very rewarding to me, let's say that. Maybe not as rewarding as seeing your hopper run over with corn because you got such good corn, but you know, this is the false hope that that's actually going to be a possibility. Got Black Betty out for the summer. This will be my everyday driver since the weather's nice. I've had a couple people ask me in the last video if I could do a walk around, so here, I'll do a walk around. I painted this whole truck. I bought it as a piece of junk. I don't know, 7, 8, 10, what year is it? It's been about 8 years ago. It was just an old beat up farm truck, but you know, she had good bones, and I've had a lot of these over the years, but I grew up with one almost exactly like this. It was a little bit older, but still a square, 3/4 ton, and a stick. I always wanted one with a 454 because, you know, that back in my day, that was the creme of the creme, I guess you'd call it. That, and I always thought that in 1987, which is what this is, when they put throttle bodies on these, I thought, man, that really made these trucks pretty cool. Get rid of that quadra barrel. So after a little digging, I got a throttle body 454. Don't mind the valve covers. That's the only, other than that, and this motor is basically bone stock. It even looks like it's supposed to be there, minus the valve covers. So that's good. A friend of mine sold me that motor, came out of an 87 1-ton, so almost exactly the same truck as this, minus the extra 1/4 ton. Yeah, that's my square. Let's get in this old girl and take her for a spin. And this, just like my tractors, looks real pretty on the outside, but she ain't much to look at on the inside. But hey, whatever. Nobody on the inside, nobody sees the inside of the truck when you're driving down the road. Let's go check some fields. And yeah, the 454 does have a little punch to it. We'll just leave her in second. We don't need to pop the clutch. We just... I love it when this thing does that. And people keep asking about all those black marks in front of my house. Well, there's another guy out there. Another neighbor out there getting some planting done. See what we got in cornfield number 2. Besides a whole crop of dandelions growing right there. You know, this makes you wonder just how well this spray is working, but at the same time, worked fine on the other field. I think this one's just been a mess. Because, you know, I got dead grass there. I got dead weeds here. Well, I don't know, maybe, no. I don't know. What do you think, guys? I think it's looking so hot. You think the anthracene and dual is going to kill that off? Because I'm not sure at this point. But, doesn't matter. What is important, I got corn growing here too. There, yeah. Stand looks as good here as it does at the other place. Couple of little dud spots here again, but maybe, you know, like I say, it's only been a week. Maybe this stuff will. Got a couple of special plants that need to work into their growth spurt yet. Hey guys, it's like this stuff right here. He's brown on the edges, like it got a dose of something it didn't like, yet it's still growing. Boy, I hate that. But I mean, everything did its job there. I don't know. I hate weeds. Well, I'm gonna have to add that to my list of shit to do earlier than later, like maybe tomorrow. Come out and give this another little spray. I almost wonder if, hell, I don't even know what to wonder. I could wonder a million things and I'd be wrong about 999,999 of them. But there's always that one chance that I'm gonna be right. But at least my corn's up and it looks like it's not doing too bad. So, mission accomplished. Let's move to the next one. That looks fine down here. Still got a dandelion there, but whatever. I'll get it. More neighbors out making dust. Good deal. All right, well, let's check out this mess. I already see Rose. Well, hello, little babies. Nice to see ya. My concoction of sprays and pre-emerge chemicals and everything worked good on this, because everything, this field's always full of this sedgy grass. It just never goes away any year. I don't care if I spray it or if someone else does. It'll die and come right back. But it looks like I got a pretty good handle on it this year so far. I think probably in another 2 weeks or so, this field is gonna look like nice green little rows, and everything else inside them will be dead with any luck. Yep. I think this is gonna be all right here, friends. Guys, same as the other, I got this stuff here where I think, you know, my pre-emerge herbicides, I don't know, doing its job. If you got a little splash of rain or something, I know it's supposed to keep crops from growing, or keep weeds from growing, but like last year when I put this out here, I had spots where a weed would take off like that and 3 days later it'd be dead all on its own. I think that's the metribuzin there doing its job, but I don't know that. I'm not an agronomist, just a middle-aged young guy trying to have some fun. But overall, guys, I can't complain. I got little beans popping up everywhere. So, guys, it'll be interesting to see. We're supposed to get a little splash of rain this week. Hopefully not tomorrow, because I still got another field I got to spray, but you can't control that, so whatever. This one's just going to be a burn down. I had some cover crop on it last year. You might have remembered, last fall, I kind of took my 1155 and run a field cultivator through it one night and put it on TV to share with you guys. Well, I planted some cover crop in there. I didn't end up getting any weed or anything in it, but she's been wet, guys, and I mean wet to where you can barely drive a four-wheeler across it. Well, after this week, it's been nice weather. Field's basically dry. I mean, dry enough to drive on anyway. I'd like to get that sprayed tomorrow, if I can. And maybe in another 10 days, what's that going to put us at? May 29th? I guess I can have it planted by June 1st. Should be in pretty good shape, or good enough shape anyway. Time will tell. All right, that's enough of this, guys. Let's get the heck out of here. Oh, I got to show you one more thing. Here is what has kept me busy the last couple days. So I had wheat in this field last year, and I chiseled it all up. And generally speaking, this field full of pretty light blow sand. When it dries quickly. The problem is it doesn't dry out for, well, it takes its time. There's no tile in it, and it's marginal ground at best. It's probably the worst piece of ground that I have, figuratively speaking. But anyway, like I say, it's my aunt rents it to me pretty cheap, so I can't complain. I'm lucky to have it, so I'll take it. But this is what I spent the last couple days in. I had to go in with my disc because this sucker was rough, and I mean rough. And like I said, it stayed wet so long, I wanted to come out here and just burn it all down and then hit it with my field cultivator and call it good. But I couldn't do that because I couldn't. If I'd have sprayed it to burn it down, I'd be another week behind. So I wanted to get it planted as soon as possible, obviously, just like anybody would. So this is what next Friday's video is going to be about, my start to finish, from get the disc hooked on the tractor to plant to spray to everything. 3 days of my life gone for this. And hopefully it'll all work out good. I still got, like I said, I really had to beat the hell out of this field, but it needed it. I still got so volunteers like this guy should be dying off in a couple days. I sprayed this whole field with Matador S and Roundup to kill what was not ground in. Well, like I said, just like that field over there, we'll give her a week's time, and this field might be just a whole field of little popped up beans and a whole bunch of yellow weeds, if all goes well. I can only hope. So that's what I've got done so far. I always have a lot of you guys ask me, how many acres do I farm? Well, I guess now's the time I'll tell you. 40 over there, 32 here, another 40 down the road, and 10 acres of corn. And that's all that I have for right now. It ain't a bunch, but you know what? I still got a full-time job. I still like to work on other stuff. And I got a wife and a daughter at home, so this is more than enough to keep me busy. And like I've said it before, and I'll say it again, guys, I don't want my farming to be a job. I want it to stay a hobby, and I want it to stay fun. And if I start farming 5, 6, 2, 300, whatever acres, the fun factor will go away in a real hurry, and I won't want to do it anymore. So there, guys, you learned a little bit more about me that you maybe didn't know 5 minutes ago. Well, that's it. I guess we'll do a drive-by of that field I got to burn down and try to get planted by June 1st. It's in terrible shape, but hey, and too, guys, there's a lot of farmland in my neighborhood here that's great farmland, but the guys that have been farming it their whole lives. And I'm the youngest middle-aged guy here. Them guys are all 20 years older than me, and they're still cooking along just fine. So more power to them. Yeah, like I said, I'm happy to have what I have. Fortunate to do what I love to do and have a little fun doing it. Let's keep rolling. Well, guys, this embarrassment is the last 40. Unfortunately, this field was not well cared for quite a few years, and it just happened to be where my uncle said, hey, if you want to farm that, you just go ahead and farm it. So like I said, I dumped some cover in here last year, and it's it's sort of covered. Kept everything out but the dandelions, but whatever, it is what it is. This is what I've been waiting for right here, guys. This untiled hunk of swamp has had these big holes in it, and they're just now dry enough to, pull a sprayer across. So there's where my problem lies. If you go back a few videos, kind of over there, when I put the clutch in the green bastard last winter, I was trying to get the rest of that field chisel plowed, because I put the cover crop in the middle here, and then I decided I might as well expand and go along the utility poles that haven't been touched in 20 years and made a mess out of that, and open up that back area, which also, yeah, just a mess. And the damnedest thing is, friends, this is actually I have seen this in the past grow pretty good crops. It's a pretty good, nice, heavy, thick piece of ground, but she could use some drain tile in a real serious way. A lot of drain tile in a real serious way. And it needs to be taken care of. It just, like I said, it's been kind of let go to hell for the last 3 years, so I'm kind of taking over where it was just abandoned. So that makes a lot of work for me too. But again, renting it from my uncle, and he's kind enough to rent it to me pretty cheap. So fortunate to have it. So I guess that's fortunate to have the extra ground. Just, they can't all be first draft picks. Sometimes you got to work at it a little bit, but I'll get it. You just keep watching. And guys, too, you got to take the good with the bad. So that's not an ideal piece of ground, but my house is right over there. So it isn't like I got to drive across the country or across the county or even across the township to get to it. So, take the good with the bad. Well, friends, that is going to do it for me today. Hope you enjoyed the crop tour. Hope you're enjoying this, because I'm going to get back after that thing pretty quick here too. Got a little more work to do in some fields, but she's all coming together. And that's the name of the game. Thanks for watching today, everybody. We'll see you next time. Mrs. JT will be home in 2 hours.
All right, Matthew Ferguson fans, here's 1-1.
Here's everybody. Oh, there's Mrs. JT now. Just in time.